Good morning and happy Sunday. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, and it was really miserable here. I don't know if it was with everybody else. Looks as if it was. We had horrendous thunderstorms and really, really dark. And so today's theme, I've decided to go for really bright colours, brighten us up. Excuse me. And it's worked because the sun has come out. So I'm sending love to you today with this new collection from Julie Hickey Designs. It's a lovely collection, not Christmassy, so we're not Christmassy. We will revert back to Christmas at a later date, but this one is new stamp set. We've got 4 A6 designs, so that's this size, the 4 A6 designs, and then we've got 2 A7s, which are the gorgeous sentiments. And amongst all this little lot, I'll show it all to you in a minute, we've got some lovely stencils, of which you can't see at all because the lights are bright. So let me show you what I'm going to actually use today. I'm going to be using the Scent with Love stamp set, which has some lovely sentiments, and this really pretty little envelope, but filled with flowers, which I thought was really lovely. I'm going to use that with a couple of elements from this one, which is the Birthday Blooms selection. And because I just love this, I'm going to be let's get it out because we can't be seeing that, can we? I'm going to be using the background stencils. So let me grab a piece of card so that you can see what they look like. Here we go. So a set of, it's on an A5 size, but we've got a set of all of the 4 little stencils, which are really handy just to give a little subtle something in the background. And I'm going to be using this one again and again because I think that this is lovely. So let us make a start, and I'll come back and show. No, should I show you these now? Hold on a minute. Let's show you these now. Let's pop them to one side. So I'm only briefly showing you these at the moment because as a whole collection, very limited. Individual, not so bad, but as a whole collection, which is obviously a much better price. So this one is, I've got to shake it down, Heartfelt Sunflower. Beautiful for cutting out, that one, with wishing you everything wonderful. You're wonderful in every way, and wishing you a day as special as you are in terms of the sentiments, which is really pretty. Then we've got this lovely, now I'm going to use this one on Wednesday, I think. This one is the Fancy Foliage. Beautifully delicate design there to go on edges, and oh yeah, lovely. Today is the oldest you've ever been and the youngest you'll ever be again. I like that. Eleanor Roosevelt, apparently. Don't count your candles, just enjoy the glow. Oh, and happy birthday to Vel, if she happens to be watching, because I know that's for her. May all your birthday wishes come true, and today is your birthday, a day just for you. Enjoy every minute, whatever you do. So I like the sentiments as well. Nice little piece of foliage extra there. And then these lovely sentiments. So you've got obviously the word happy and birthday, but then you've got the smaller birthday, so happy Easter, be happy, happy anniversary, happy wedding day, happy Valentine's Day, and birthday. So you've got the happy there, so happy birthday or birthday wishes, happy birthday to you, girl and boy, happy birthday boy, birthday girl, that type of thing. So again, I'm going to use those on Wednesday as well. And then this is the other stencil, which matches with the Beautiful Blooms die set. And I've seen the most gorgeous samples with these, so we'll be having a play with that as well, hopefully, as long as they haven't all gone by that time. But anyway, so let us use, without further ado, some of these other bits and pieces that we were saying about. So let's move these. Now, as I said, I decided we would be joyful and we would go for some very pretty colours. So I have gone for an 8x8 card blank. I've already taken some card. Here comes the brightness. And we are going to go with Clotted Cream, which is this top one here, and Pumpkin, which is the orange one. So I've got my frame already cut out. I'm going to use the cutout piece from my square to do some stamping on. And I happen to have a piece of pre-sprayed card. So I often do that when I've got my sprays out that I'm using for something. I've used some of Craft Artist by John Lockwood, some of the sprays to create some backgrounds, and the one I picked up was an orangey one. Okay, so here we are, an orangey bit of one. So therefore that's determined what colour I was going to use. Now if you don't have one of those colour bits, you might want to then save the inner piece of this, the orange piece that came from here, because then you could cut your flowers and bits and pieces out on there. But I'm definitely going to save this one, and yeah, we're going to do all sorts of little bits and pieces on here. So let us have a start. So I'm going to take this part because I want to do some stamping onto my frame, and I want to do some stamping onto here as well. So let's make a start first of all then with stamping onto here. So I'm going to bring in my stamp press, and I have got already in place the lovely Scent with Love, show you it on here better, Scent with Love stamp set. Okay, and I'm stamping it onto, I'm going to cut it out from, so it doesn't matter where it is on the page, with Versafine Clair in Fallen Leaves. So this is a pigment ink, and I want to, I'm not actually going to colour it, so it doesn't matter too much about colouring, but in some places I do want to use some alcohol inks. Now, that could be a problem if I was using the Versafine Clair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some clear embossing powder with it, and then I can colour with anything, whether it be watercolours or alcohol markers, it won't matter. So that's what I'm going to use for that. And another tip of using it like that is that we can then, if we do it with clear, we don't have to buy all these different embossing powders. If we've got our inks, we can use our inks and then just colour. So I'm going to ink this up and just pop that onto there. Hopefully, she says, I've made a little mark here. Don't want that in there, do we? I don't think that matters, but hey ho, we'll have a go. So I'm just going to press that down onto my platform. Lift that up. Quite a beauty, don't you think? So I'm going to pop a bit of paper underneath it to catch my powder, and use the clear embossing powder for it. Now it will still stay wet for 5 minutes, but you can't sort of hang around too much on this. So you can see now maybe that it's gone quite dull because all the powder is now stuck to it. Let's shake off the excess, pour that back in because I will be using that again in a little minute. I don't know how long a little minute is, do you? And I'm going to grab my gun, my heat gun, and I'm going to heat that up. So I'm just going to heat it up a little bit first. But I just wanted to show you that this does make it just a really good way of using any colour inks that you've got, but actually giving it a colour. With the embossing powder, it sets it so that you can use it. So I'm just going to bring this in. Just a second. Sorry, it had got caught. So I'm just going to, hopefully you can see that as I go over it, it starts to set quite beautifully, and it will then become sort of glossy. And as soon as it's glossy, we move on. Just check. I think that's all set. Not quite sure at the top there. Hold on. That's better. So we've got that all set. Can you now see that that's all sort of shines, which is quite nice? So move that out of the way for a second. Whoops. And I'm going to cut this out. So I'm going to grab my little pair of scissors, and I'm only just going to cut it out fairly roughly. I'm going to give it a border all the way round. So just a light border. And as I said, I've just stamped this onto the Essential card in Clotted Cream, so that it just gives it that little less starkness on the top there. Now I'm giving it a little border because I'm not sure if you can see that, but as I'm going round, can you see there's some sort of like lots of little dots on here? Not sure if you can. Because I want to use those as accents for my colours, and so I want to make sure that I leave them on there. So they are in various different places on my little envelope. Okay, so now I've also pre-stamped the same stamp, but not all of it, done exactly the same on my scrap piece of already sprayed card, so it gives you a bit of a selection. And I'm now just going to fussy cut some of the flowers, not all of the flowers, but some. So the biggest ones. I've got to be a bit careful. So I'm just going to cut out these. So if you haven't got something sprayed like this, as I said, it's just easy to use the outer parts of your frame, so it means less card and everything to be able to use that with, so that's quite okay as well. I'm just going to take these. You could use more than one layer, but again I think one layer will be fine in this case. And I'm in this case now keeping to the lines as I cut out, not giving that any extra space, so to speak. I'm just going round all the way round. You could, of course, not do this and just colour it in, but I think it looks very nice done this way. So we're just cutting around there. So have you all started your Christmas cards now? I've allowed you a week off without Christmas, but I hope you've already managed to get a few done. We had a great workshop yesterday with Christmas special, Christmas exploding boxes. So I'm hoping we weren't able to finish them all in the class because they do take a little while to do, but I'm hoping that we may get to see some of them a little bit later. I know one or two have already made birthday versions, but we've got to wait for those. So wait till the birthdays have gone. But yeah, so that was a great one. Next online workshop, which is held over Zoom, will be on Saturday, November the 12th. So if you're wanting to join along, look out for that in the next few days. They will go available over on the website for that. And we have decided it will still be a Christmas one. We weren't quite sure whether we're going to do Christmas or not, but we decided still November. We will do Christmas, but come the December class, Christmas will be finished. Well, basically, if we haven't done them by the 10th of December, which is the class for that one, then I don't think you're going to get it done, do you? So I've cut out some of the main pieces here, so that's fine. Now I'm going to take a couple of colours, and I have got a Copic marker in, what's it called? Honey, which is Y38. And I'm just going to colour some of the smaller flowers. So you can see that there are just these little tiny things. So I just want to colour those bits. So anything basically that I'm not going to put these onto, I'm going to colour this little one because I didn't cut that out. And you'll find that because it's embossed, there's a bit of a relief there. So if you do go over the edges, it isn't a problem because it will relieve it. Are there any other little flowers? No, they're not. But do you recall I said to you about these little dots and bits and pieces? So to blend all these colours in, the oranges and yellows, wherever there is little dots, I'm just going to go over with this colour pen and just accentuate wherever there's the little bit of marking. So it's not rocket science. It isn't, you know, it is a definite place because you just follow wherever it is on here, but you haven't got to be absolutely exact, just to give all of this and bring it all in together rather than give it that stark colour. So anywhere over here where we've got all these little dots, let me bring it a bit closer so you can see where I'm actually referring to. Hopefully you can. There's little dots, tiny little dots all around the flowers. And that's what I'm just going to go over with this orange pen to just, you could do it with a different colour, but it just pulls in all the colours that you are going to be using. And I have got a green just to do some of the leaves with in a second. But I'm just going to use all these little bits. So it's sort of filling in the gaps, really. One up here. So then I'm taking a Pro marker, and the Pro marker pen is in colour Apple Cider. So it is just a nice green, and I'm just, any of the leaves, just going over there to give that little bit of a leaf section. So there isn't very many leaves. And of course, if you wish, you could have cut them all out and really gone to town. But we're just doing this for you quickly. Just put those bits in. Oh, and another leaf over here. So I think it's easier to just colour in where you can with these, with the leaf. I'm just giving it a little bit more of a shadow. I'm just going to go over the bigger ones. So they've just got a bit more of a shade to them. Okay, so we've done all that, and that's now to one side because we're going to pop that into the centre of our card in just a moment. So I'm going to pop that over here, and I'm going to bring back my frame. So this time I want to add the sentiments to this frame. So I'm going to remove my Scent with Love. Pop that back on there. And I'm going to have the sentiment that says Scent with Love. I'm also going to have the one Just for You. And I'm also going to go with the heart that's in the centre. Okay. Now, bring in my frame and pop it right into this corner, holding it in place with my magnets. Then I can place where I want them to be, and I want my heart to be in the centerpiece there, like that. And then I want Scent with Love on that side there. Oh, Okay. And then I want a just for you up on this bit. So the idea is we're going to have 2 sentiments: sent with love, heart, and just for you. Move that over a fraction, like that. So I can then pick them up so I know they'll still be in place. Now I'm not going to do the embossing with this. The reason why I'm still going to use the Versafine Clair, but the reason why I'm not going to emboss it is because heat embossing on such a thin piece like this might warp the frame a little bit. So I really don't want to do that. So I'm just going to try and be very careful of putting that in place, but I've used the same colour. Okay, so it's a nice sort of dark brown. Okay, so sent with love, just for you. Then I'm going to turn my frame round, hold these places into place, ink it up again, and bring it down again so it won't have moved. And we've got it in exactly the same place. And then I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to leave one piece that's not, because I want to add some flowers to there. So I'm going to ink it up once more. It's a nice way to do sentiments if you don't want anything too big, to do it round in a square, I should say. It's hardly round, is it? Okay, so let's take those. And I'm going to take them off because I want to do just a few more flowers on here at the moment. So I'm just going to pop them back. And I'm going to leave that over there for a minute. And whilst I've got this out, I'm going to take my other stamp set, because that's got some flowers on that I want. So the flowers all coordinate. So the same flowers that were in your bouquet as such, you will find here. And I'm going to grab my piece of scrap card that I've been using, and I'm just going to place some of these flowers onto here. Pick that up. And pop these on. Now, as you saw, this is going to be the first time that I've used these particular stamps, so I might need to do them a second time. We'll see how well that comes out. Oh, no. Quite beautiful, I reckon, don't you? And whilst I've got them in place, I'll move that round there, and we'll do another selection as well. So just putting my Versafine Clair ink onto it. Straight down. And there we go. Okay. So I'm going to add some of my clear embossing powder to that as well, so that it's all in keeping and it all looks pretty special then. Just pop that powder over there and a little bit over here. So as you can see, although I didn't do it straight away on that one, it still sticks. You can still see that they've gone sort of like a dull colour at the moment. Oops. Let's pop that back into there. And just heat set these. So again, heat up your heat gun, and we'll just apply to that, and you should see them just change and get darker. dark and glossy, so that's the sort of way that they turn. And I think it's quite nice, hopefully you can hear what I'm saying over the top of the gun. I think it's quite nice to do it onto a sprayed background as well, or even some paper, some scraps, perhaps some scraps of paper that you've got, because it then gives you that sort of, rather than a solid look, it gives you that different texture. So I'm just going to cut these out very quickly. And then we will pop our card together. So I've got all the elements. I just want to do the stenciling on the background. And then Bob's your uncle, as they say. So there we go. So the complete set is available, as is individual pieces, but I do have a special offer, not only saving money, but also we've got glossy embellishments free if you collect the whole set. So I will show you those in just a second as well. This is a lovely little flower, isn't it? Very pretty. And then into this one. Look all the delicate little lines, very pretty. I can't see what you're all saying to me at the moment because I'm busy cutting that. I need a little sort of a bell, don't I, that if you say anything that I've got to reply to, that I just look. I see some people went to Peterborough Crafting Live or whatever it was called. A bit too far away from me, but I'm glad you all had a lovely day. Nice to get back to some sort of normality, isn't it, eh? I'm hoping that we get to go. There was one at Farnborough, which is the nearest one to me, but that was Grand Wedding number 2. So couldn't go to that one, but Grand Wedding number 3 is next Saturday, 6 days time. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, that's going to be very, very exciting. I hope we have decent weather. Always looking forward to that one. So that's next Saturday. I will still be here Sunday. So and live. I promise that I shall be here. Well, I will be here. I will be here. And I will be here in completely on the ball, because this one is not very far away. This one is only about an hour away. So we won't be staying. We will be coming back. Whereas the others were staying away. I don't know whether I'm going to use all of these flowers, so I'm just going to cut all of them out and then we can see. And as you can see, I am cutting them out very roughly. Sometimes I've gone close to the edges and sometimes I haven't, purely because the whole of the design gives you that sort of, it's not a uniform shape or size, so it gives you quite an easy way to get away with doing that sort of thing. Okay, so there's all our elements ready. Now I just want to use the stencil. So I'm going to bring in my card. And as always, I'm going to go with a top folding card. And because I'm using the oranges and yellows and bits and pieces, I have chosen the Distress ink in dried marigold to put some of my stencil work on. So I'm going to grab my stencil, which is the background stencil. And it's got 4 backgrounds. Not that you could see them very well like that, but don't be fooled in thinking that because they're only tiny, that, oh, how are you going to manage with this? Now, you could, if you wanted, cut these into 4 so that if you find that's easier, you could cut these whole pieces into 4 so that you've got one with the lines, one with the little dots, one with the squares, and one with the diamonds individually. But you can also do it like this as well. So how are we going to do it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one, I think. The diamonds. I'm going to choose the diamonds. I'm going to use a blending brush and I'm going to pick up some of my colour. I'm going to check on here that I've got the right colour coming through, and I want it fairly subtle. So I'm not going to load my brush up, but I'm not going to overload. Okay. So yeah, it's coming out the right colour that I want it to come. Not least for the fact, I don't know about you, but I really should be colour coordinated, but I'm not. And sometimes with the brushes, I could have been using a dark purple beforehand. And if I hadn't have checked that it was okay, we'd be ending up with a bit of a mess. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to go over. So you can see I haven't laid it in any particular shape or pattern. I'm just going to go over in places with this. The only thing I'm not going to do is go too close to the very outer edge. And the reason why I'm not going to do that is because I don't want it to poke out over the edge. So I'm going to move it around using it in different orientations. So some sideways, some upright, because my Scent with Love envelope is going to go, envelope stamp I should say, is going to go over the top. So you're only going to see this poking through really. So I'm just going to fill a few more gaps, just moving it around. And then a little one over here. So we've just really coloured in an area of the background. I'm not doing that bit in the middle because my envelope is going to go over the top. So let's now bring in our bits and pieces. Let's bring in our frame. So I'm going to stick that down now, as always. Didn't check the glue. I have had to go and get myself some other people's glue in order to, I think that's okay, in order to actually use some. So this isn't other people's glue. So just going to put my glue around my frame and then pop that onto my one that I've already done. Just pop that into place. And I've already put foam on the other side. And this time I've gone a bit mad because I've used 5mm foam. So it's really thick. But I wanted to make a happy card. And so happy is foam for me. So I'm going to add an extra bit of glue to the back of my frame onto the foam. And I want my flowers to be in this corner. No, sorry, this corner, this corner. So I'm going to bring that in so that my spare bit, my clear bit, is down here. Okay, so just pop that into place there. Now I'm going to bring in my beautiful Scent with Love, and that is going to go into the centre. And the reason why I wanted my flowers to go in this corner is because my flowers on my envelope are over in that corner. So I'm corresponding them by bringing them down here. See what I mean? So if I'd done it round that way, my flowers would come down that way. Yeah? It's a quirky thing. It's the sort of thing I like to do. It's not that you have to. It's just the sort of thing I like to do. So I'm now going to have even more foam just to make me even more happy. And I'm going to pop that onto the back. But this time I'm only using 2mm foam. So it's not going to be at the same height that all this lot is. Bring that in. Extra bit of glue. put that at an angle like that. Then I'm going to take my lovely little flowers. Now, what I didn't do before was I didn't cut down. So I'm just going to cut down and make all these petals singular so that we can move them about a little bit. So I've just cut down as far as the middle piece. Find my flower, corresponding flower on there. Bit of glue in the centre. And just pop that. You could put them onto foam, but I found that if you just cut down, as I say, so that you've separated the petals, just by bending up the petals themselves, it just gives that little bit of movement as well. Whoops, nearly dropped the glue. That one hasn't gone down far enough, so we just do that. Just bend them up a little bit. And that one goes in there. It is a happy colour, isn't it? Do you think it's a happy colour? I nearly always do pinks and purples. Don't know about you, but I think we all tend to have favourite colours and then all our cards are the same colour. So I thought I would go out of my comfort zone, but also I liked the idea of being a happy card with happy colours. Now, I'm not quite sure if there's a right and a wrong of this one. Well, there is. Oh, I think I got it right. That one goes there. And then finally, this little one here. And then that one can go, whoops, in the centre here. Like that. And then I'm going to bring in my other flowers. And they are just going to go into this little corner here. Okay. So as I said, not quite sure how many we're going for yet. Or which ones even. I think like that, to be honest. Yep. I think like that. Now, the other thing that I've thought since, but I haven't got it handy, I don't think, because what I want to use is some glossy accents on these hearts. But I'm pretty sure that I haven't got it handy. I'm just looking. I mean, you would have thought that I'm in my craft room here and I've got everything that you could possibly want to have. However, is it to hand? No. I hope that my craft room is not much different to your craft room. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, Jeanette? I'm always doing pink, purple, and then Christmas is the silver, although I have been into my black and my gold phase this year. Now let me just double check whether I can grab hold of my... I don't think I can. Because it needs glossy accents here, I reckon. And I don't know where that is. Where is it then, folks? Where is it? Trouble is with that is that I wasn't going to use it, you see. That's why I don't know where it is. Bear with. Now, this might be quite ridiculous. I don't know. This is liquid pearls. No, I'm not going to go for it. I was going to go for liquid pearls on it, but I'm not, because actually I think that will not look any good. I will find my glossy accents and I will finish it off like that. So with the glossy accents, I was just going to put it within my flower here just to give me another focal piece on there. Okay, another idea. Why didn't I think of that? Let's use the glossy embellishments. How many of you were shouting at me to do that? So these are the little glossy accents that are embellishments that are free. And you know what? That goes in there perfectly. I don't need my glossy accents anymore. Ooh. Sit in there nicely like you're told. Oh. Right, they are very sticky. That's good. That's better. That's better. So just going to finish. These silicone mats are brilliant. I can't pick up anything. There's that one. And then I'm just going to pop another little one down here. Oops, I have to be quiet when I'm doing the accents. Yeah, that looks rather yummy, I think. What do you reckon? So you've got that subtle look in the background with your stencil, but just to break up that stencil really, so that it's not, sorry, break up the background so that it's not totally stark and white. And I've used the Scent with Love stamp, which is this one here. And that also has these lovely Scent with Love, Just for You sentiments, which I've put round in the 3 corners and included the little heart that is there. And then I've used the stamps from the Beautiful Blooms. No, Birthday Blooms. I've used the flowers from the Birthday Blooms to just fill in this little corner here. I've used Versafine Clair for my ink today, and this time I've used it in Fallen Leaves, so that although it's dark, it's not black, it's a dark brown. And I felt that that went better in with the pumpkin and the Clotted Cream card that I was using. And then I've just used a couple of pens to just pick up that orangey colour. It was called Honey, but it is like a yellowy orangey colour. And accented some of the bits and pieces, but particularly with these little marks here, it just sort of brings it in. Hopefully in a minute I will do a better picture for you so you can all see. And I do like the way that because it's glossy, hopefully you can see that that's shining, that just brings it up a little bit as well, doesn't it? Just makes it sort of like pop. So I do hope that you like the card. I'm sending love to you all today, and I hope that the day gets brighter for you, because I have to say, doing this card has brought the sunshine here. It's beautiful. There's hardly a cloud in the sky. Brilliant blue sunshine. It's going to be a good day. I do hope you have a good rest of the day. Any of the products, while still available, will be over on the website under the Facebook Live section, or indeed the Julie Hickey design section. So do look on both of those if you can't find them. I will be back on Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and I'll be doing some more in this selection so that you'll be able to see those, plus news of other things coming our way very, very soon. So take care till then. Thank you very much. Sending the sunshine up might take a few hours to get to you, but it'll be coming, don't you worry. Take care, everyone. Bye.